For engineering services general studies video lectures, visit www.iesgeneralstudies.com. For mechanical engineering video lectures and question and answers discussion, visit www.gatmech.com.
Hello friends, hope you all did well in your ESC Prelims 2018 exam. So in this video we will talk about the project management questions that came up in this paper 2018 Set A. Surprisingly, compared to last year, we got a huge weightage in project management. So there are around 13 questions from project management topic, and another surprising thing is the focus is on mainly planning and scheduling topic out of all project management subtopics, out of which they got 7 questions out of planning and scheduling, that is including critical path, PERT, work breakdown structure and related topics. And other questions are mainly related to project execution and miscellaneous topic like EOQ calculation and ABC analysis. So all these questions comes under some related to the execution of the project and some related to the miscellaneous topics compared to the actual topics in the project management. So and one question from basics of the project management. So you can see the clear focus on this planning and scheduling, both theoretical as well as problems came from this topic. So we will solve these questions, first planning and scheduling questions and then these 2 questions in this video. So I am referring question number 16 from Set A. So this question, it is like this: in a project there are 9 activities A, B and C and D which are sequential, and E, F, G which are sequential, H, K which are sequential. Also E, F, G run parallel to B, C, D, and besides these activities dependencies, it is also needful that B be completed before taking up G, A and H be completed before taking up D and K. And the question is, how many dummies are to be drawn on the activity network? So this question is part of planning and scheduling. It checks your understanding of how to draw a network diagram before doing the analysis like critical path and project duration calculations. So there are some nomenclature terms in this question like activities, which are referred as activities, and it also referring the dependencies, activity dependencies, and then the activities, and then it is calling something called dummies, dummy activities. Okay, so as part of the project planning, so we create these project activities on a network diagram to analyze, right? So these are the activities that are given A to G, and it is asking how many dummies are to be drawn. Dummy activities, you need to understand what are dummy activities. Dummy activities are nothing but activities which are having 0 duration. They are not actually activities, are part of the project. They are used to maintain the precedence relationship between activities. Like say if there is activity A and there is an activity B, and A should be completed before B. So and there is no duration, that is just a precedence relationship. So we use a dotted as a nomenclature, dotted line. This is a dummy activity. A, B, the activity between A and B is a dummy activity. So only after A is done, B should be done. So these type of dummy activities, how many are needed in order to model these 9 activities in a network diagram? So that we will see now. So it's given that there are A, B, C, D are sequential activities. So let us take AOA nomenclature, activity on arc. It's given that A, B, C, D are sequential activities. So considering the activity on arc, our first node will be a start node. So first activity A, it starts here and ends here, and then activity B, which is sequential after A, and then C, and then D. So B starts from here and ends here, C starts from here and ends here, and D starts from here and ends here. So now the second statement says EFG is also sequential and EFG run parallel to BCD. So EFG run parallel to BCD. So that means E is starting along with in parallel to B, that we can consider here. So this is E which is running parallel to B, and then F is running parallel to this path BCD as well as so, and the activity G is ending along with D. So EFG is parallel to activities BCD. So that's given. And beside these activity dependencies, it is also needful that B be completed before taking up Z. So activity G is to be started only when B is completed. So B is completing at this point and G is starting at this point, right? So there is no direct connection between this activity and this activity. So but there is a dependency that G should start only after ending B. So this is where we create a dummy activity highlighted by these dotted lines. So only when this activity is done, G will start. So this is the relation between Z and B and G. So similarly, A and H be completed before taking up D and K. So it is given that H, K are also sequential. H and K are sequential. So they will be starting at along with A. H will be starting something like this one, and this one will be K. H and K, these are sequential. H is followed by K, and then they are it's given that A and H be completed before taking up D and K. So A is completing here and H is completing here. So before start of D, H should be completed. So that means before start of D, this is the starting point of D and this is the ending point of H. So after ending H, so H will be completed before taking up D, as well as A should be completed before taking up K as per this statement. So there is A is completing here and K is starting here. So this, if you can check the statements again once again. So A and H be completed before taking up D and K. Suppose A should be completed here and D is starting here. So that's anyway is a valid relation. A will finish and then after B and C, D will start, and only after finishing A, this K is starting. So both holds good here. Coming to H be completed before taking up D and K. H is completed before K as per the sequence, and before starting of D, H is finished. So we are also creating a precedence relation between these two. So we are using in this network, you can see 3 dummy nodes. So this is one dummy activities, in order to create this activity network, in order to create this precedence relationship between various activities given. So as per the given options, 3 is option C. So in order to answer this question, you need to understand these activities and dummy activity definition, and then you need to know how to draw a activity network. So there is one more activity on node nomenclature. You can use any of those to arrive at this. Next question is question number 38. So in which the following statements are given. In work breakdown structure, top-down approach is adopted. This is the first statement. Second statement is duration along critical path is the shortest duration permissible. And then the third statement is PERT is probabilistic in its approach. So this is again part of planning and scheduling. So the first statement says about the work breakdown structure, and second statement says critical path, and third statement states about PERT. So it's covering the entire techniques being used in planning and scheduling. Okay, so coming to the first statement, in work breakdown structure, top-down approach is adopted. So what is work breakdown structure? So as the term indicates, so we break down the project the entire project. To reduce the complexity of the project, we break down the project into smaller tasks, say task 1, task 2, and task 3. So basically based on the complexity of the project, the number of subtasks that can be divided, which are logical, which are manageable, and which are easy to implement, or so in this way the projects are broken down. So in terms of tasks, and again this task can be subdivided into set of subtasks are called subtask 1, subtask 2, and this can also be broken into work package 1, work package 2. So the number of levels in which this project will be divided, so that each of these components of the project at each of these levels will be managed separately, and they can be worked out parallelly, the project, so the main objective is to make it simple for implementation, make it simple for manageable. At the same time, these tasks should be logically separated from each other. This should be a different, independent, we can say. And then each of these subtasks will be assigned to a different team to work on it. So this is what happens in work breakdown structure, so to reduce the complexity of a project. So here usually a top-down approach is adopted, where we have an entire project plan and we are breaking down into tasks. So this is a top-down approach. Another approach is bottom-up approach, where we have already a set of tasks available at the lowest level. We can say this is level 0, this is level 1, level 2, and level 3, and we have already set of tasks available, and then we aggregate and make it a project. But usually this is the approach that is followed under work breakdown structure. So the first statement is a correct one. Okay, and the second statement talks about the duration along critical path is the shortest duration permissible. So by definition, the critical path is the longest path with all the longest duration of all the activities. So suppose say we have activities like this. This is the start, A, B, C, and D, and there is another path like this. So this is having duration 1, 2, 3, whereas this has 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is one path, and this is another path. Following doing these activities A, B, C, D, and we can say this is D, E, F. Okay, so this is one path and this is another path. So the path which is having the longest duration, in this case this one, is the critical path, and this is the minimum time that is required. So in this case, to complete this one, you need 1 plus 2 plus 3, 6. This is the duration 1, 2, 3, and 6 is the total time required to complete this task, whereas this needs 1 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. This needs 16 units of time. So this is the longest path, and you can see to complete this project, this set of activities, the maximum time that is required, the minimum time that is required is the 16 units of time, because this path, this set of activities take 16 minutes to complete. So the statement says that duration along critical path is the shortest duration permissible. So that is the shortest duration required to complete this project. that is the minimum time required to complete the project. That is the duration that along the critical path. So this statement is also true. So here it is checking your understanding of what critical path is. In general, the definition talks about the longest path, but it is here to confuse it is talking about the shortest duration permissible. Okay, and then the third statement says PERT is probabilistic in its approach. So this highlights the definition or the difference between CPM or critical path method and PERT method. So critical path method is used in general the projects where the duration of the project is known, whereas PERT technique is used for the projects whose duration is not certain or deterministic. So this is developed basically for R&D projects by US Navy. So R&D projects generally doesn't have a full determined time, how much time this R&D project takes. So it is uncertain. So in order to handle those uncertainties, PERT technique is used. So it uses a 3-point estimate. So they use a probabilistic estimate, pessimistic, optimistic, and normal. So the definition for these is, so the expected time is calculated as okay, so it uses a set of estimates to arrive at the project duration. So it considers to handle the uncertainties of the project, it can considers the estimates of each of these duration of activities. So that's why it's probabilistic in its nature. So this is the main difference between PERT and CPM. So this statement is also correct. So as per the given question, option D will be the correct answer. All the statements are true. The next question from set A is question number 50, and the question is: a simple project comprises of two start to end parallel paths, each with 3 activities in series with no interpath dependencies. The A, M, B data in days for each activity are shown in the diagram. Assuming that 3 activities in series are enough for further computations, what will be the total project duration and its standard deviation? So this question is related to again the project planning, where the activity network is given like this with the 3 duration estimates. This is part of PERT technique because CPM uses only single estimate for the duration, single duration estimate, whereas PERT uses 3-point estimate. So these are the 3 estimates that are given, that is referred to as A, M and B by the question. So A is nothing but the optimistic time, B is pessimistic time, and M is the most likely estimated time. So this is also referred as TO in some books. This is also referred as TP, and this is TM. So as per the PERT technique, these 3 estimates are used to calculate the total project duration, that is the expected duration, that is given by A plus 4M plus B by 6. Also can be written as optimistic time plus 4 into Tm plus Tp by 6. So this is nothing but a weighted average of these 3 estimates given, okay, A, M and B. Okay, so as per the PERT technique, we need to calculate the total duration of the project and the standard deviation of the total project. Okay, so as per this formula we have written, this expected duration is a plus 4m plus b by 6. So in this case, first we need to identify which is the critical path to find the total duration of the project. So out of, you can observe this, out of this one is a critical path. The durations are high in this path. This is the 7, 12, 15, and whereas this is 3, 6, 8. So you can see clearly that there is a difference, and this is the longest path of this activity network. So let us calculate, refer this as arc1 or activity 1, arc2 and arc3. Okay, so the duration for arc1, so that is Te1 is equal to 6 plus 4 into 7 plus 8 by 6. Okay, where is 12 plus 4 into 12 plus 18 by 6 for second arc, and Te3 is nothing but 9 plus 4 into 15 plus 18 by 6. Or you can directly add for the entire network like this, the total for the entire. So for the entire critical path, the total duration will be Te1 plus Te2 plus Te3. Okay, so you can directly add this like 6 plus 12 plus 9 plus 4 into 7 plus 12 plus 15 to make the calculations faster. 8 plus 18 plus 18 by 6. Okay, so this comes to, when we calculate this comes to 7, and this comes to 13, and this comes to 14.5. Okay, so the total is 7 plus 13 plus 14.5 is nothing but 34.5. So this is the total duration of this project, and then we need to calculate the standard deviation. Okay, standard deviation is calculated using the formula. The standard deviation is equal to calculated b minus a by 6. B is the pessimistic time, A is the optimistic time, or you can call it as Tp minus To by 6. Okay, so for each arc, let's calculate this. The standard deviation of arc 1 will be 8 minus 6 by 2, which is nothing but 1. Sorry, 8 minus 6 by 6, that equal to 2 by 6. And for arc 2, 18 minus 12 by 6, that is 6 by 6, that is equal to 1. And standard deviation for arc 3, 18 minus 9 by 6 is 9 by 6 is 3 by 2. Okay, so for the total critical path, the standard deviation will be the square root of, so it won't be a straight summation. So as per the statistics, the standard deviation cannot be summed straight away, only the variance can be summed straight away. So this will be a sum of squares of each of the standard deviation of each of these arcs, which is nothing but 1 by 3 square plus 1 square plus 3 by 2 whole square, which comes to 1 by 9 plus 1 plus 9 by 4, which is equal to, the denominator is 36, and then this will be 4, this will be 36 plus this will be 4 9s, 9 9s are 81. This comes to 40, so square root of 121 by 36, which is 11 by 6 days. Okay, the total duration came to 34.5 days, and the standard deviation came to 11/6 days. So from the given options D is the correct answer.
For engineering services general studies video lectures, visit www.iesgeneralstudies.com. For mechanical engineering video lectures and question and answer discussion, visit www.getnet.com.